Good morning, warriors. Fernando here, God's Prepared Warrior, and just want to welcome you to Wednesday. We are halfway through the week, and seems like time flies, right? It's just flying away. But yeah, we made it to Wednesday, so I hope you have a great Wednesday today. Last night, I got to be on our regular Tuesday night net meeting with our GMRS group here where I live, and it was a pretty neat night. I went live last night, not here on YouTube, but on TikTok, and was kind of just letting people kind of see how that is and what that's like, and with the idea of them getting into the practice of practicing with their preps, right? Because I love being on the radio. Ever since I've started doing this, it's been a pretty fun thing. So I'm to transition into what I want to share with you today, because it is one of my favorite things to do is be on the radio. Today I want to talk to you about not to forget your comfort items when it comes to prepping. We get things ready, right? We're prepping our supplies, we're prepping food, we're prepping water, all those things. But I think we focus a lot on those things, and they're important. I'm not saying they're not important, but we neglect sometimes some form of prepping that actually is good for us to prep, right? In other words, I want you to not forget your comfort items. And what do I mean by that? We think of preparedness in the way of doing all of these things, and we focus on that. And like I said, there's nothing wrong on focusing on food and water and shelter. Those are very important aspects of prepping. But in stressful situations, comfort can be just as vital to morale and mental health. And so I say that because, I liked the comments that were coming through last night. And there was a few people that were like, this is boring. And, I get it. But it's for me, it's something, it's a muscle that I'm exercising, and it keeps me calm, right? Because there's nothing really stressful about being on the radio, especially when you're talking with friends, and there's the question of the day, and you're answering that question. So comfort can be just as vital in a poop hit the fan situation. So I will say, pack small things, small items that will lift your spirits, maybe even just kind of bring a sense of normalcy to whatever is happening in that time. And it doesn't even have to be a poop hit the fan situation. It could just be normal day life, right? A deck of cards, right? During your break at work, maybe you like to play solitaire. Maybe if you are traveling, you take some travel games for you. Of course, you're driving, right? But for the family, right? So they don't get bored. Or maybe keep a book handy for all of us who love to read, right? Maybe it's maybe you do prep some kind of hard candy or some instant coffee packets, right? Those things are important. They're comfort items, right? Maybe for some of you, it's a notebook, right? And a pen, so that you can journal, you can, release the mind, right? Or maybe it's, you want to write down a prayer, or maybe you just want to document things, right? Maybe it's keeping family photos or keepsakes, things like that, right? So, these may not be, life or death supplies, but they can be the difference between despair and hope in a crisis. So, remember, guys, survival is more than just physical. It's emotional and spiritual too. And I think, we should prep in that way, right? Yes, prep your food, prep your water, prep for your shelter. Do all of those things because those things are important. But don't forget the little small things that will help us get through that situation. So that's what I have for you today, guys. And on this half the week, some of you will say, well, we're halfway there. Others of you will say, well, you know what, we're closer to the weekend, right? You have several different ways to look at it. Well, have a great day, guys, and just know that I'm praying for you, and thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. So let's grow the channel. Don't let Instagram beat you guys. Have a good one, and hope to see you on the next one. God bless.